Nintendo's next big console and successor to the Switch is finally on its way to your hands. Eventually. We'll talk about what's revealed so far and when we might know more.
And the gaming world has been buzzing about the recent studio closures out of Microsoft. We've got all the latest info on this and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another brand new episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube, Fruit Lab, and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. As always, I am joined by this man right here, Full Clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
What's going on? Doing good. Yeah. So I've been telling you in the background about my life struggles right now. I've been going through a move and everything else, just got a house. So I actually haven't had a lot of time for gaming lately, but one little thing that I did get into, and it's going to be a little bit silly, it's a mobile game that I've been sinking a lot of time into called Hungry Shark Evolution. And it's probably like years old at this point because I've seen the thumbnail for it a million times. And it's just one of those unassuming games where, like, unless you're just looking for something and you're bored and it looks entertaining, you're not going to click on it. But I had heard that it was actually pretty good, so I gave it a shot, and I've been playing it quite a bit. And it's actually by Ubisoft, so it's strange.
What's the gameplay of it?
All right, so it is a roguelite, I guess. I'm not real, solid on those definitions, but you will play as a shark. You will be entered into the ocean. Your goal is to chomp on stuff and not die. Like, there are people, there are other animals, there are hidden treasures to find, there are, like, bosses, like a giant crab that you can fight. But then there are, if you're too small of a shark, the puffer fish will, like, damage you. Fishermen might have harpoons up on their boats, so they're going to be damaging you, shooting at you, and lionfish are, like, insta-kills.
I'm looking at a video of it now. So this came out in 2012 for the Xbox, dude. That's how old it is.
It might not be the same version. If it's
more
Evolution,
recently,
because I know this is like the third one.
Right. Okay. So yeah, more recently, it looks fun. It looks cute. I like it. Gaming News Weekly here, dude. We're on the cusp of all these, these games coming out. But yeah, dude, sometimes you just need a fun mobile game to get you through that, new house bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Has everything's been going good though with that? Everything's going smoothly.
Yeah, so far so good. I don't know if I'm gonna have good enough internet out there for like multiplayer and stuff like that. That's the only part that sucks.
That's a bummer. You gotta I don't know. You'll figure it out. You're a smart guy. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You get one of those, like, I don't know, giant satellite dishes or something.
Yeah. Well, I would never go HughesNet. That is such a ripoff. It's like dial-up speed satellite internet. But Starlink actually looks kind of appealing if you don't mind giving old Elon a little bit of money.
Sure. When that's your only option, I think you got to do what you got to do. Well, that's all right, dude. As always, I've been playing a lot of games, man, and I feel like a little overwhelmed with how many games that I've been like starting and playing because I'm getting review copies of games, and then there's all the new games that are coming out that I've been really waiting for. So first off, I want to start with a game that I have fallen in love with. I just got it yesterday, so I'm not like, I don't have a ton of information. I've only got about like 2 or 3 hours into it, but I'm obsessed. V Rising came out of early access on May 8th, and it's like, have you seen this game? It kind of looks like Diablo, but it's like a survival game. And you play as a vampire. It's been around since 22. I think it's been in early access for a while, like fall of 2022. But now it's done. 1.0 is out, and I'm there. I'm here to check it out. And right off the bat, it's like you have to customize your vampire. So I made this like sexy like purple vampire lady. and the graphics are great. It's like a little cartoony, but like still, has that realism and creepiness. Um, and then you just go and you have to, like, it starts off with, all right, first, it's teaching you the game. Collect this. You got to get wood and stone and all this stuff and kill enough monsters to get enough blood. So it's like that, but it's all holding my hand and checking the boxes. Okay, now do this and we'll give you this. Now do this and we'll give you this. And then you can start building your base and you build these giant castles. But what I love about it, so if you play on so it's like a PvP or a PvPvE game, and I'm just playing on a solo server. So it's just me. I don't got a group of vampires to roll with. So I'm just playing on a private server. And one thing they do, and I feel like every game should do this, you can customize it fully. So you can customize how long it takes to harvest material or the decay of your building. Like if it decays, like you can make it decay slower or not at all. Like, so these things, there's you could teleport, like the default is you teleport without any items. You could switch that off. You teleport with items. Everything is just to make it more enjoyable for you, it's my game. Like, I should play how I want. And it doesn't, like, it's not taking away any of the difficulty of like the battles or learning the skills and that sort of thing, but it's the quality of life things. And I absolutely love that. And more games should do that, It
Right. Yeah.
sense.
It's like, I mean, I think the last game I played like that is kind of Pal World, where you had all those sliders available to you. You can customize the experience. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool when they do that. I'm glad that they have that feature.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the gameplay itself is great. It's like you're just out there, you got to kill enemies, suck their blood. So like and depending on whose blood you suck, it changes like your stats. So if you get like a hunter or whatever, your stats change in favor of like a rogue. Or if you eat just a bunch of wolves or something, it gives you like this creature buffs. So that's really cool. And then it's got a day-night cycle. So obviously you're a vampire, you can't be out in the daytime. But if you're out there when the sun's out there, you start to die. The graphics look fantastic. But you can hide in the shadows and that sort of thing. Man, I'm really enjoying it. I was like playing, like, I was playing it a lot today, so I wasn't really prepared, for our our news here today. But I'm really excited to get back out there and try some more. So yeah, I'm a big fan so far.
Very nice.
Now I know there's like a ton of content to it too. Again, I'm only like 3 hours in. I haven't, fought a boss yet. I haven't like really upgraded my castle. So these are the things I'm looking forward to. And then I played a bunch of our new releases, but I'll get to that in due time. So shall we move this thing along?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, here are our new releases from last week. All right, first up, Hades 2 was shadow dropped on PC into early access. So it's not the full release of the game, but for everything I'm hearing, it might as well be. It's supposed to be playing amazingly, and it's really just more of Hades, what you liked about Hades, the first one, the roguelike. But now it's got a new character, new weapons, new items, new abilities. The character's a witch, so there's more magic involved. And yeah, it's just that classic roguelike game, just dashing and attacking enemies and stuff like that. Did you play Hades?
No, I actually hadn't heard of it. I was surprised when I saw this, though. It looks a lot like Diablo. Is it kind of in the same style? I mean, I know you're saying it's a roguelike.
Yeah, it's got that. I mean, I think the only thing that's similar to Diablo is the kind of the look of it, the angle and everything, and then your abilities are cooldown based. Gotcha. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's all about your runs. You want a good run, get as far as you can with the best equipment, best abilities, and then you go back, you die, you start it all over, and you go out and you do it again. But the characters are great, the story's great. Hades, the first one, is everywhere, dude. You could get it right now, I think, for like $8 on PC. During sales, you could get it for like $4. But it's even on Apple Arcade. It's on Netflix. That's where I saw it. So yeah, you can play it anywhere. And this one, the early access version, it's not entirely finished, so it doesn't have like I don't think it has the end game. It's missing a few bosses and some abilities and that sort of stuff. But they're saying it should be done not until it's going to be on early access until like next year. So they've already said that. So, but all the reviews, everybody that I've heard play it says it's might as well be done. It's an amazing game. Which is interesting too, that like an indie game studio like Supergiant puts out a game into early access that's way more finished than most AAA games that when they come out to retail.
Right. Yeah.
What's that
Like
saying?
what are we thinking? Like Justice League, the recent one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, any of those things. I did just read that in the most recent Warner Brothers earnings call. They blamed the Suicide Squad game for not hitting their quarterly projections. So, yikes. All right, next up, Animal Well came out on May 9th on PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. This is been long anticipated. This is the first game from Video Game Donkey's Big Mode Studios, and it was developed by a single man, Billy Basso, as the developer. And this is another one that I've been obsessed with. It's so good, dude. And I can't even tell you why. I don't know why, because it's just all it is. It's like this tiny little blob in this pixel world, and you go through these levels, and it's like a Metroidvania where every time you go into a new section, it's a whole new board, basically. It's a new puzzle. It's a new experience that you have to try to figure out how to get from point A to point B. But there's secrets everywhere. Every time you go into what you think it's a wall. It's not a wall. It's a whole new path to like a whole new thing. And every section has these surprises where I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? It's blowing my mind, this little pixel world. There's like these animals that add to like a dog that chases you until you got to get a frisbee, and you throw the frisbee and it runs away. Or there's these fish that blow bubbles and you got to jump on the bubbles. Dude, this game, and I'm playing it on the PlayStation 5, and the haptics in the controller make it feel like I'm the little blob. Like nice. The haptics are amazing. And then the sound that's coming out, like there's a little speaker in the controller. The sound that comes out of it is so well done where I feel like I'm in this pixel world. I have no idea how they did it, and it is such a good game. I'm amazed by it. I highly recommend anybody, if you can, go try Animal Well. It's an experience that needs to be, because looking at it, you don't get it. Like, it doesn't look like anything amazing, but then you start playing it, and it's like, oh, this feels great, and it does. Like the exploration and finding that new place. Yeah. Try it out, dude.
Like it's in dark mode or something, because everything's sort of underground and dark. Yeah, it looks amazing. It really doesn't look like anything else I've ever seen. Maybe not from a gameplay standpoint, because it is a Metroidvania. It shares a lot of DNA with that, but just the visual style of this game is not like something I've played before. But I want to check it out. I'm getting kind of tired of games that are so dialogue heavy. You have to just sit and read forever.
Yes.
And I watched the Donkey video on this where he has like an interview with the guy who made the game, and he says, well, I had written all this dialogue for all these animals. They were going to tell you what to do, but I tried to make it more realistic, so I stripped all of that out. And I'm thinking, like, thank you, sir.
Yeah. And I think that's better, because like part of the enjoyable nature of this game is figuring it out. Like, no, they don't tell you anything. Like, you have to, if you get an item, you have to be like, what the shit is this? Like, right at the very start, there's this ghost that comes attacking you, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go through here, but every time you go through there, you die. So then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go a different way. I go a different way. I find these flowers that are firecrackers. So I'm like, all right, let me see what this does with this ghost, and I shoot it at the ghost, and it like goes away. And by the way, I don't know how they make fireworks look so damn cool in this pixel game that's like 30 megs. Like, it's insane. But yeah. It's a great game, and I can't wait to get in there and explore more. I highly recommend it. And then last up, Little Kitty Big City came out May 9th on Xbox One XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This is another one I played. So, dude, I've been busy. You see, I've been playing all the new ones. This is just it's like a cozy exploration game. You play as a cat, and you got, you've fallen off your little ledge, and you got to try to figure out how to get back up to your house. And it's You come across all these different characters along the way, cats and birds and raccoons and stuff, and they're all trying to help you out, but they all need, feathers or shiny things. So then it's more of a collectathon. You got to go around finding these shiny things and collecting feathers from birds and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun. I'm playing it with my son, and we're having a blast. Sometimes like it's a whole chain. So like you find this guy and he wants feathers. So to get feathers, you got to catch birds. To catch birds, you got to get bread to lure the birds towards you. To get bread, you got to find people that are walking carrying sandwiches or bagels, and you got to trip them and steal their bread, and then go put that down, catch the bird, and then take the feather to the guy. It's like this whole thing, but at no point does it feel grindy or difficult. It's just a lot of fun. And then on top of that, like as you're going, you're earning like emotes where the cat does cat things. Or you're earning costumes, or you can make it have like an apple on its head or an axolotl face. It is a lot of fun. And again, it's just another simple game, no worry about, dying or anything like that. And it's just a cute game. So
How heavy does it play into like the cat humor, I guess? Like the knocking things off the shelves and
100%.
getting distracted by lasers.
Absolutely. 100%. Right off the bat, I'm walking down this ledge, and my son's like, push it off. There's like all these plants in there, so I'm pushing them all off, and you get a trophy like right away. It's like trophy for like knocking things down or achievement or whatever. So yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying my time in Little Kitty Big City. I don't know how long it is. I think we played it for maybe about an hour today, and yeah, it was an enjoyable experience. All right, that is it for our new releases. Lots of great games. Definitely recommend all three of those. So yeah, go check them out. Let us know what you think of them. All right, let's move things along. It's time to get into our news of the week. All right, before we get into our big news this week, I want a quick run through the Humble Bundle choice that just came out at the beginning of the month. This is another group of games that I'm going to have to put on my backlog for now because I've got the choice and I'm really excited to try them all. Yakuza Like a Dragon, Hi-Fi Rush. We're going to be talking about Hi-Fi Rush quite a bit today. Steel Rising, Lottlenaut, King of the Castle, Bravery and Greed, Amanda the Adventurer, and Mediterranea Inferno. So overall, a great month of games. I mean, just looking at Hi-Fi Rush and Yakuza Like a Dragon alone, I mean, right there, those games are, you're paying $60, $70 just for those two games. You get this for $11.99. So
absolutely, those are the two that kind of do it for me, but I'd also like to check out Steel Rising and probably King of the Castle. The others I could take or leave, but $11 for 4 games that you will play, that's pretty good. And since the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth game came out, and I'm kind of going to wait till that's on a pretty steep discount to check it out,
right.
I wouldn't mind going back and playing the original Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm hoping to get in there at some point. And try that out because I don't think it's too long either. It's not a huge RPG. It's something I think you can knock out in 20 hours maybe. But yeah, even like the smaller ones. I'd never heard of any of these, but I looked into Amanda the Adventurer, and it's kind of like this weird, like dark, horror-y kind of game. And then Lottlenauts is it's like a little indie exploration game that I think my son will really dig. So overall, a great bundle for $12. Man, they're really killing it with the Humble choice. So probably one of the best months in recent memory. You got until the end of the month to go pick this up. So definitely go check it out. It's $12 for all those games. It's a really, really fantastic deal. All right, now our biggest news this week. Microsoft has closed a number of the Bethesda Studios, including Arcane Austin, makers of Redfall, Tango Gameworks, they made Hi-Fi Rush and The Evil Within, and then Alpha Dog Games, I think they just make some like mobile games, and then Roundhouse Studios. So yeah, some this happened. I mean, it's been a few days now, so there's been a lot of talk throughout the industry from Microsoft. So we're going to try to, touch on all of those things. So right now, they said, they never really said how much staff is going to be laid off or lose jobs, but we know, I mean, you're closing full studios. They did kind of roll some into, I think Roundhouse Studios is being absorbed by ZeniMax Online Studios. But yeah, so they didn't give us any idea if it's hundreds, thousands of people that have lost their jobs. But we do know that, I mean, this is big when you talk about Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks just being completely shuttered. Like Arcane Austin, now granted, we know Arcane, they've had amazing games that have come out. And they had a misstep with Redfall. But it doesn't, I don't feel like that necessitates a closure. But I think we'll find out it's not just based on what games they've put out from this. Because then you look at Tango, Evil Within 2, and then most recently Hi-Fi Rush, which was this critically acclaimed game, closed their studio. So
Yeah.
it seems confusing and weird,
Yes, it seems like they just really didn't care about what they've done or accomplished, and
Yeah.
it's just numbers to the big corporate suits, and they need those numbers to be smaller, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So Arcane Lion, they survived. They're working on Marvel's Blade right now, and then Bethesda Game Studios wasn't affected, and then Machine Games, they're making Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So those studios were unaffected. Those are the Bethesda studios, and id Software, they weren't touched either. So there were a few studios that weren't affected by this. Yeah, it just sucks, right across the board. How they could just, imagine being a studio that was just purchased by Xbox, and you're seeing these studios from Bethesda that were purchased however many years ago now, being affected. It's pretty crazy.
Right.
So,
And it's just like, I mean, what was it, a week or two ago? We talked about Take-Two doing the same thing to some of its studios, and it's insane that, like, you'd probably think you're safe because your parent company has more money than several small nations combined.
yeah,
You think you're okay. You think you're just going to go to work, make games, they're going to make money. No, I guess not.
right. Yeah, what is the criteria to be safe anymore? There really isn't. These were popular games that made the company money, and that were beloved, that won awards. So it's pretty crazy. I want to throughout the week, some people in the industry have been putting out tweets, some interesting ones. So Arcane Lion chief Dinga Bakaba, he put out some tweets. Says, to any executive reading this, friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment/cultural industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them create value for you. Don't throw us into gold fever gambits. Don't use us as strawmen for miscalculations, blind spots. Don't make our work environments Darwinist jungles. You say we make you proud when we make a good game. Make us proud when times are tough. We know you can. We've seen it before. So that's a great point. Like, when times are tough, I mean, when we're at our best, we're fucking making this money, we're lining your pockets. You're doing it. And then, like, when there's this little issue, with the industry or whatever, bam, out the door, It's crazy. And the fact that, like, something like, you look at any of these studios, I mean, more specifically, Tango Gameworks, like, why not divest, sell them, let them be in their own industry, don't just fire everybody, close the studio. And now, after, like, looking into it more, you see, why tax breaks, and they get to keep the IP. So now Microsoft has the Evil Within IP, Hi-Fi Rush. If they want to make a game down the line, they own it. So it's pretty crazy. Helldivers 2 studio CEO Johan Pilestead said, I don't understand the closure of Tango Gameworks. I mean, why close instead of divest? Surely the team would easily have been able to find a new home. And then Larian publishing director Michael Dow said, I cannot imagine hearing you're being let go because of prioritization of another developer is especially good for morale, especially if you're in another regional office of a shuttered sister office. Imagine reading that and working in Obsidian or something. And then the day after this was announced, Matt Booty held a town hall to discuss the division's future goals. And at this town hall, he said, we need smaller games that give us prestige and awards. And the developer, Tango Gameworks, the head of that, project manager Kazuaki Egashira, tweeted out images, a picture of all the awards Hi-Fi Rush won, and it said, "Not enough?" Question mark.
Right.
Like, crazy, dude. Can they hear this fucking hypocrisy? It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a good excuse, so nothing's really gonna, hold up.
Yeah. I don't know what the reasoning is. All I know is that this industry is not in a good place. It's got to be insanely scary for anybody out there in this industry because, like you said, there used to be, okay, you make a good game, it sells, great, you're doing a good job, you're safe. But now, like, I don't know. I don't think, like, I think any of these smaller studios that are doing what they're doing, putting out good games, if they ever are approached by like a larger, like a Sony or a Microsoft to like be bought, I think you know the answer now.
That's what I was going to
it's
say.
not safe there.
It's written on the walls. Don't sell. If you want to
Mhm.
continue to do what you're doing and make great games, because first of all, you don't need them giving you notes telling you how to ruin the game, and second of all, they can shut you down anytime and take the IP that they technically bought off of you.
Yeah. So it's really a weird time in video games. Like, I don't know what the future looks like for video games. Obviously, what Xbox has been trying to do, with the Game Pass and everything, it's not working. I don't know if maybe they shouldn't have bought Activision. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, are they regretting that purchase of the whole, ABK?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've said it on here before. I wanted to like be in this industry as a kid. It just seemed
Yeah.
like an awesome thing to work in video game development, stuff like that. I guess thankfully I didn't take that path, but if I had, I'd be shitting my pants like every day. And I wonder how that's going to play into games that are going to come out that are being worked on right now when you have an industry full of people, especially if they work anywhere under the branches of Sony, Microsoft, any of that. They got to be like, am I going to have a job at the end of the month? That's
Yeah.
not great for working. That's not a great work environment.
No, it's not. And I mean, I think a big thing that we're going to have to wait and see is what the success, if it is successful, GTA 6, what that looks like, because that's probably the biggest budget game, that's going to come out of the industry probably ever. And what does success mean for that? Is it units sold? Is it, review scores? Is it the quality of the game? Because that's going to make or break. And then what the industry looks like after that, is it going to be smaller, independent studios putting out these games? Because then you look at games like, Helldivers and, Baldur's Gate, and even like Animal Well, like we just talked about, these small games that are getting people talking, getting discussion going, and aren't at risk of being closed or laid off because it's just a handful of people making quality games. Like, is that the future of video games? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and I assume like maybe when GTA 6 comes out, it's going to be a good payday for Sony and Xbox because they'll have a lot of people who haven't gotten the newest generation or PC gamers who won't have access to the game. It might sell consoles for them, and then maybe these budget woes or whatever's going on behind the scenes will be, temporarily relieved anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where this industry is. Even 6 months from now, because right now it doesn't feel good, and I don't know if it's raising prices or re-examining what these studios are expecting from these games or lowering the budgets on these games because you're not getting the money back. I don't know. But right now they're expecting too much, and then having to either lay off or close these studios is like it's a heartless, stupid, you know, money based decision that could have been avoided. It seems, but who knows? You don't have that. We're all playing Monday morning quarterback here. We don't know, when Bethesda was purchased, however long ago, they all thought they were safe. They were told,
Hmm.
business as usual, do your thing. And they did their thing. Tango made an amazing game, and, and they were not thanked for it. So, I had a bunch of quotes and stuff from Xbox head Sarah Bond, but I'm not even going to read them because all she does is just more hypocrisy. It's just more bullshit. Um, you know, so, whatever. But Jason
Yeah.
Schreier from Bloomberg did say he believes there's going to be more cuts coming soon because there are right now staff at ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, are being offered voluntary severance packages if they take it. So we'll see what happens with those and if there's more cuts throughout Microsoft or Xbox. So I'm sure we'll be talking about this more next week. I feel
Yeah.
so.
There's the only silver lining out of all this. It's good for gaming news.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? Is it?
I guess.
Um, some positive news out of Microsoft though is that the Microsoft Mobile Store is going to be coming probably this July. So Sarah Bond, Xbox president, did talk about that recently at the Bloomberg Technology Summit. She says, we're going to start by bringing our own first-party portfolio to the Xbox mobile store. So you're going to see games like Candy Crush show up in that experience, games like Minecraft. We're going to start on the web, and we're doing that because that really allows us to have it be an experience that's accessible across all devices, all countries, no matter what, and independent of the policies of closed ecosystem stores. So, I mean, kind of not what we expected when they were talking about this. We thought it was going to be, like an app store just specifically for, Microsoft games. And it is, I guess, but it's just a website.
Just through the browser. Yeah, there's some questions about this still. Like, I mean, how's that going to work? Are you able to install and manage your games through the browser somehow? Because I don't think it works that way. But I mean,
Yeah.
as far as like achievement tracking and things like that, I could see where that probably works just fine like that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point for stuff like that. But then they're talking about all your purchases for Call of Duty Mobile and stuff are going to be through there. So I don't know what this means, but this is something that, I mean, they've been talking about. This is one of the major reasons for the Activision Blizzard King purchase was to get Candy Crush and open up their mobile store. That was like their big money making thing. So yeah, we'll see. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It seems kind of half-assed right now.
Right. And also the question of, are these things going to be taken off of the stores that they're on already, like the Apple Store, Google Play Store?
Good
Will
point.
you exclusively have to go through Microsoft to get or Xbox to get them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder. Um, so yeah, we'll see more about that coming as we get closer to July and the release of that. All right, next up, Nintendo Switch 2 is getting closer, but still so far away. In a statement on Twitter, president of Nintendo Shuntaro Furukawa said, "This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. I like he said it. This is me, baby. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024. But please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation." So, yeah, so we got a while, man. March 31st, 2025 is when the next fiscal year will be ending. So sometime before then,
Yeah, yeah, and I've seen, so there was a little bit of a, I don't know if you'd even call it a leak, but somebody was looking into shipments that were going to Nintendo, I guess.
Hmm.
So they've got some specs on the new Switch that you can go out there and find. I know there's like 12 gigabytes of RAM. Can't tell you any more specifically than that. They also know like how much storage it's going to have and how fast that storage is going to be. And I think there's some sort of mock-up of the screen size, so it's going to be a little bit larger with like an 8-inch screen or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, interesting. I mean, I feel like by the time it's announced, we'll be able to piece together all the leaks and everything we have to get
Uh-huh.
an idea of what this is going to be. Because then I did see another leak talking about magnetic Joy Cons that kind of just snap onto the side or whatever. So
Fancy.
um, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Every week maybe we'll get something new. Maybe like it'll like spell out something. There's like a hidden code in here, and like every week we spell out it says, and it's like tells us the release date.
Hmm.
That would be cool if we could figure it out. And like Gaming News Weekly is the one that has the release date for
Oh
Nintendo
yeah,
Switch too.
we'll get
And
on
if we
it.
can't, we'll just make it up and we'll just lie and say we figured out a code.
That's what we usually do.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. While we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, let's talk about something very important at Gaming News Weekly, and that's our top 5 of the week. Top 5. It's a top 5. Top 5. All right, this week we're talking about the top 5 Nintendo Switch games, Nintendo Switch exclusives. We looked back for all the games since 2015. We put together our favorites, and here they are. Number 5, Paper Mario Origami King. Now, I've never played this one. This one was high on your list. What did you love about this game?
It's interesting. It's like the combat style in there is pretty cool. It's like a turn-based thing. There's some puzzles to it almost. Um, it in a lot of ways it's classic Paper Mario. It's not like your 2D side scroller Mario, like what was the one that just came out with like the Freaky Worlds or whatever.
Yeah, Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, yeah, this is pretty different. It definitely plays into the. It's a lot like the Yoshi's Crafted World in that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've watched like a bunch of this. My kid loves the Mario games. This was one of the ones where he's always like, I want to check this out, and he's more into the platforming games, like the 3D platforming
Mm.
games and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, yeah, dude, we can mess with this. Like it looks fun. We haven't bought it yet because those
Yeah,
games they never go down in price. But yeah, I want to check it out.
yeah. I've kind of lost my taste for like this Super Mario Odyssey style of a Mario game, and this one just feels a little different in the style of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, number 4, Mario Kart 8. This is basically when I was putting together my list, I looked at my Nintendo Switch and I was like, okay, what has the most hours in it of the games that I've played? And this was up there, man. I put a lot of time into Mario Kart 8. Now I haven't opened it in, I don't know, a year to play it. But as I was looking at this, I was like, man, I gotta get back in there. Because there's a
Mhm.
ton of like, they've been releasing the tracks and stuff like that. I don't own any of the DLC. So I think this could be making a return here. I'm going on vacation soon with some friends. I think this would be the perfect thing to bring along and pop on the TV if there's like a rainy day, because Mario Kart is always so much better when you're playing with, 3 other people. So this is a fantastic game. It's probably, in my opinion, the best of the Mario Karts. I don't know where what the ruling in the world is, but I love this game. Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey. This was my number 1 pick. I have 100% it twice. I played it once by myself before my son was born. Went through, got all the collectibles, did everything, and then when my son was able to start playing these games, we went through and we did it again. He did a lot of it, so love
Yeah, I
this
don't know
game.
how you did it. Like I've played it, and it's good. It's a Mario game. It's there, but it's weird. It's like the whole Jurassic World thing just comes out of left field. It's very different. It changes the style up on you.
Yeah, and I like that about it. I like that it's like there's just out of the blue, there's just random shit happening, and I'm just like, what is going on now? Because it's like it's very Nintendo in that it's like you never know what to expect. But yeah, I remember the first time I threw my hat on the dinosaur, and I'm like, I'm a dinosaur now. It was like probably one of the best video game experiences of my life. All right, number 2, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, this one was gonna make the list. Now, I'm not a huge Zelda fan, and I've actually never played this one. I played Breath of the Wild, which was, I played that on my Switch, but that was a Wii U game, so that would, we're discounting that.
Not an exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't have this list and not talk about probably the greatest game made for the Nintendo Switch in its life cycle. So, yeah, that's why it's number 2, baby. Anything to add?
Not much. I didn't actually play that one, but I did rank it high up. Sorry, people, don't at me over it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know quality when I see it.
Yeah, exactly. And then number 1, Animal Crossing, whatever the name of that is, New Horizons.
New Horizons
is the number 1
was that high
game.
up on your list?
It was my number. It was both of our second pick.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was. I mean, the perfect storm for a game. You put out this brand new Animal Crossing game. A worldwide pandemic happens. Everybody's stuck inside. The only way they could leave their house is by jumping on Dodo Airlines plane and going to a different island and finding some other bugs and being friends with other weird creatures. It was the perfect storm to make this game as popular as it was. This by far has the most hours played on my Nintendo Switch. It was this thing. Like, you couldn't talk to anybody during those few years without talking about, how's your island looking? And, it was insane.
Right.
So,
Right, and same here. It's the top played game on 2 Switches in the household.
Yep.
And it was my wife's favorite game of all time. I would say at this point, she's got a huge, massive collection of stuff from Animal Crossing, and I played a lot of it myself. We when it very first came out, we would fight for controller time because you could only have one player on the island or something like that. It was just annoying to have two. It's not a perfect game. It's the weird Nintendo. You got to jump through 15 hoops in order to do any sort of multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a great game, and the gameplay loop, it'll keep you in there.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was always and then the way they do the seasonal things where you got to get in there and collect all the things. Cause it's like a new thing that was released in the holidays, and it made you want to go on or have to go on your Switch to go get these things.
Right. And things it reflects your area of the world at a certain time. So if it was summer here and you went to somebody's island who they live in Australia, it was wintertime. Mm-hmm. So you could go there and get the winter fish and the winter bugs and stuff.
Yeah, it's still an amazing game. My wife still plays it regularly. In fact, my son this is maybe a couple weeks ago now, wanted to make his own island. So I haven't opened Animal Crossing in a long, long time. So I'm like, all right, dude, you could delete my island. And it was weird, dude. It felt weird deleting my island after how much time I put into it, And I haven't played it in I don't know how long, a couple of years. But it was like, as he's hitting the button, I'm like, okay, do it, fine. But yeah, it was a lot of work, man. A lot of man hours went into that place. So, all right, that is our top 5 Nintendo Switch games. Let us know what you think of our list, and we want to hear your list. So send them this way, and we'll compare. All right, and then last up, speaking of Nintendo World Championships NES Edition was just announced. It's going to be out July 18th, and you can pre-order it right now. There's a physical edition that you could buy, and it comes with a gold NES cartridge and art cards and pins, or you could get the digital version. And what this is, it's a collection of over 150 challenges from 13 different NES games, and you got to go and get the best times and stuff like that. So it looks really cool. The games that are going to be included: Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, The Lost Levels, The Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So What do you think of this? Are you excited for this? Are you gonna buy this?
Maybe. Like I'm not really into speed running
No,
and the
me
challenges
neither.
and things like that, but I really think it's kind of cool how they take a little
Yes.
slice out of each of these games so that you can do those challenges over and over, try to beat the scores. I didn't quite see if there was like a leaderboard just between your console, you and your friends, or the world. I'm not sure, but I think there should be
I
like
think
some
there's all.
worldwide leaderboards and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I did see. I think there's all of them, and there's like a party mode that you could play local competitions with up to 8 friends. So that part's pretty cool because I'll never be near. I'll never be in the top 30, 40,000 of on any of these leaderboards. You know what I'm saying, dude? People are really good at speed running things, and I am not. I'm an old man with the thumbs of an old man. So
Pretty
yeah,
cool trailer though. Did you watch the big reveal trailer?
yeah, it was really cool, and it definitely got me wanting to get this game. Even though, like I said, I'm not down with the speedrun, but I love anything with like mini games, especially when it's nostalgic like this. Like I've played all of these games, so I would like to
Yeah.
get back in there.
I was a little surprised that this was not an actual like Nintendo World Championship until halfway through that trailer when they kind
Right.
of revealed that it's a game and it's not. I don't know. Have they only had 3 World Championships in all this time? Like 91, 2015, and 2017?
Yeah, I guess it was entirely news to me, like about these. I didn't even really know there was this World Championships thing until I saw this trailer, and then I looked
Yeah,
into it more.
I feel like they ought to do it every like 5 years or something. That would get people interested.
Absolutely, yeah, like an Olympics, like a
Yeah.
Nintendo Olympics. I'll host the next one in my house. You could come.
Yeah.
All right, and that is it for us here at Gaming News Weekly. You got anything else before we finish up?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Let's call it a day. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Please go watch this show on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground. It's where you'll find this show, a bunch of other stuff over there. You could, while you're at YouTube, go to Game Facts. That's Full Clips page, GameFAX. Subscribe to both channels, please, and you have all that stuff coming at you right away. Or you can check us out at Fruit Lab. It is a gaming website where you could earn a cryptocurrency. We're big over there. We're big deals over there. Be sure to go over there. Tell them E-Rock Full Clip sent you, and they'll give you pips, which is their cryptocurrency that you could use to buy gift cards and stuff like that. It's real cool. But if you don't want to do that, you can also listen to the podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just type in GNW in any of your podcast machines, and bam, it's right there, ready for you to download. Listen to any of them on the go. And then while you're at it, check us out on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok is the big one right now. You get a lot of, we're doing the dances. We're talking about video games. We're doing more dances in between the conversations about the video games. I may show a little cleavage sometime just to get the views, but this is all temporary until TikTok goes away later this year. So we have been thinking about buying it. Gaming News Weekly has been thinking about buying TikTok, so we'll keep you abreast of that situation as that comes around. But we'll see. We got to look under the couch cushions. Full Clip just bought a house, so money's a little tight right now, but we'll see.
I think we can do it.
I think so too. And that's all I got. So go do all those things that I asked, please. Thank you, and then come back here next week for more Gaming News Weekly.